We're still following up events in Egypt as they unfold, and condolences on the terrorist attacks in North Sinai. The president cut short his visit to Ethiopia to return to the country, and he's following up closely the situation on the ground. We had shortly more about news throughout the country. In Port Said, a terrorist brotherhood element was killed while he was planting a bomb at the power station. Elsewhere in Khanka, 4 people were injured, 1 critically, 1 an explosive device detonated. There has been also separately in Qalibiyya, the security forces had chased and arrested 6 masked militants who tried to set buses ablaze. So this is the despicable face of terrorism, isn't it? I have always the honor and pleasure to have with me Mrs. Basant, Fahmy, a renowned economic expert. Mrs. Fahmy, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Yes, this is the despicable face of terrorism, because we took steps in order to achieve our roadmap. The army took severe steps, also severe blows against terrorist elements in Sinai. But this time we talked also to General Abdelrazik and General Halabi, and from their point of view, they feel that this time the despicable terrorist attacks are organized and foreign hands seems on. What do you think?
First of all, I would like to extend my condolences to all Egyptians, the people, the families. And yesterday it was too bloody. But anyway, in my personal opinion, this is a result of a long list of success for the Egyptian army. Meaning it's a sort of a revenge. They tried to get revenge. We understand, but we will continue.
A revenge also because we do have a joint economic conference.
It's a revenge because
and they feel to be invited.
They feel that you are going on, nothing will stop you, no matter what they do. So they are trying to push it on a more bloody attitude or more bloody scenarios. Yes, it is organized by outside forces, we all know that. That's why we all talk about that Egypt is in a state of war, starting from the president of the country until everybody. We know we are in a state of war. And this type of war is dangerous and causes a lot of fatigue, because it's a long run, it is not organized, and you can expect it anywhere, like you just mentioned, in many places. But it can never continue forever. No groups can beat a country. We're a country, we have an army, we have a police, we have people.
Right.
So yes, they are annoying us, if you wish. They're creating troubles, they're creating problems, but they can never be, as I say always, they can never succeed in changing us or changing our opinion or changing our attitude towards the future. Egyptian people have decided to build their country, no matter is the price, because the choice is difficult. What is the choice? Is to give up? Impossible. Impossible. You could lose your country. So it is very dangerous from their part to think like this. We will never give up because the price is the country. We will never give up our country.
Yeah, and the Egyptian people, thank God, are fully aware of their despicable game, I mean, of the terrorists.
Everybody is aware.
We find them behind their army, behind their police, in concerted effort. How can we support the army and the police at this juncture?
First of all, when I say army and police, they come from Egyptian families. They have to support them. They are our sons, brothers, sisters. You see, from the Egyptian society, they are not foreigners, they are not mercenaries. So everybody is supporting from the social side. But again, we have to support them economically, because that type of war is a long war, and it is costly and it's expensive.
Right.
Because it hits left and right and it hits the economy. And I have noticed lately that they've changed a little bit their style.
Their tactics.
Yeah, their tactics, from going into demonstrations to hitting on the economy.
Yeah.
Meaning hitting on the railway stations, the railways themselves, the economy, some shops, shopping malls, electricity.
Yeah.
They are trying to hit, that's a new tactic, and that's why it's not the role of the army and the police are there. Infrastructure. Yeah. So this is the role of all
of how the game has changed.
To protect.
And protect.
And you have a shop, you protect your shop. I have a bank, I protect the bank. There is a ministry, protects the ministry. So now it is not only the role of the army and the police. Because they're going to hit another, like they're in the taxi, for instance. Everybody has to protect his own property. Of course, the army and the police will play a major role, but we have as well,
go with them hand in hand.
definitely, and a big role on us. For instance, like I hear all the time, we need to have cameras all the way. We have to have people who could really be alert of what could happen. You see something wrong, you immediately tell the police or the army. So the Egyptians,
Sense of awareness of what is going on.
the Egyptians are fighting the war, not the army and the police.
Well, the continuation of the roadmap, the terrorists try definitely to block the road. They know quite well, they will not succeed, but they know quite well that we had undertaken steps to achieve the goal. And it seems, of course, there are efforts in vain here or there, as you've mentioned, Mrs. Fahmy. Economically, how can we protect our country and not to let those despicable acts like change the image?
Block the roadmap, no. Delay it, possibly. The delay will be our decision, not their decision. We might decide to delay some steps. There's nothing wrong in that. We're in a state of war. Everybody knows that. So we might take some new tactics. And I say always, even if you delay a little bit, there's nothing wrong. But when we do it, we have to make sure that we stand on solid grounds. On the economic side, definitely, all the support must be given to the army and the police during this period. And that's why I am asking always that we have a government of war, which could be from 16 to 18 ministers, decrease the spending, especially in unnecessary spending. You have seen some steps taken by the central bank recently. He has to take some other steps. We are allowed, when we are in a state of war, on a state
What
of...
other steps in your point of view?
Like, for instance, the Ministry of Supply. They should take steps, meaning they have to be responsible for bringing all the necessary food and medicines, and food as well, primarily the medicine will leave it to the Ministry of Health, to the Egyptians themselves, meaning they don't use brokers, and I always talk about this. You can as well, during a 6-month period, because you are in a state of emergency, to stop the import of some non-necessary stuff. To protect your reserves. We have a critical level of foreign reserve. This is very critical. We have to protect that. So the central bank has to take some measures with the banks to limit as much as we can for a period of 6 months unnecessary imports. Because our reserves have to be enough to pay 3 things or to cover 3 things, and at least for a year period, because that type of war will take a long time.
Yeah, we'll be back to this point in thorough details. Let's talk to His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, head of the Arab Investors Union. Ambassador Bayoumi, well, it's condolences definitely for the lives that has been lost, but not lost in vain. They are defending the country, and this despicable act of terrorism in